Good morning, good morning, good morning, citizens of YouTube. I'm on my way to work. It's Friday. It's about 7 o'clock a.m. Friday. Did I say Friday? And I'm going to make up some hours. I do that. Normally I have, believe it or not, Fridays off. We work 4/10s where I work. However, I have the ability to leave early sometimes, and I'll make it up on my off Friday, which I don't mind. It's quiet in the office. I can actually be more productive in the office. I can actually do more for the company in the office on a Friday than I can Monday through Thursday, because there's nobody there really to have to run around for. Let's put it that way. Anyhow, that's not what you tuned in. Again, I'm on my way to work. Good morning. Today I want to talk about a few things. And I've been talking about these things for years. Actually, many years before this, what has been going on in this country for the last 2 years. A lot of people foresaw this, foreseen this. Foresaw, is that a word? Foreseen this coming. I foreseen this coming back all the way back in 2009, 10, when I started prepping, when I started doing a lot of things to prepare myself for hard times coming. Back then, you know, we're not preppers if we start prepping really the moment the shit hits the fan. What's the use, right? So a lot of us foresaw this coming in the future. Now we don't prophesize, we couldn't, so we couldn't tell you the exact year it would happen, but we felt it. We can feel it back in 2010, what was going on in this country. And for those of us who are prepped, we got plenty of food. I got, for 2 people, calculated for 2 people, a year's worth of food in the house. I mean, that's as good as silver, in my opinion. If not better, because you can't eat silver. But why am I saying this? Well, things have been turning really bad since beginning of 2021. And I think they're going to get worse. And now we're coming into the election period. And you're hearing a lot of promises, a lot of slogans. That's all they are, slogans, branding. So I want to talk about the branding. I want to talk about why. I don't want to talk about abortion or abortion rights, but I want to talk about why the Democrats are fighting so hard for abortion. Because I don't want to get into whether it's right or wrong. I'll tell you, I'm a hunt for me, and I don't impose my values on no one. I respect everybody's opinion. But for me and my God above, I don't believe in it. However, if someone was sitting next to me right now who believed in it, I would have nothing against them, because the Bible says I should not judge them. He will judge them. So we could be friends. Let's just put it that way. Anyhow. So we're seeing a lot of slogans on television and a lot of promises, and I want to mention something. All these slogans are to make you believe that they work for you. You don't work for them. And I hate to tell you, and for those of you who go to church regularly, or used to go to church regularly, or go to church on and off, what is tithing? What is the percentage of your income that should be going to tithing? That means, what is the percentage of income that should be going to the church, which is technically God? It's 10%. 10% tithing is good enough for God, but not good enough for the government. Imagine that. They're passing all these bills, spending your money, by the way, to take care of all the problems in the world. Your money to take care of all the problems in the world. Problems that you didn't even know existed. Oh yeah, they're your problems. We're going to take care of them for you. They're taking your money and they're digging your graves. All in the meantime saying, we work for you. We go to Washington to serve you. But what does that say when they pass multi-trillion-dollar bills to combat climate change and all these other problems that really don't affect us and never have? But at the same time as passing these multi-trillion-dollar bills, they do two things. One, they promise it will not raise your taxes. We're going to spend your money, but trust us, you don't have to pay for it. It's basically what they're saying. We're gonna throw all this money out the window, and don't worry, it won't affect you at all. We're gonna throw your money out the window. We're gonna give your money to everybody else, but it won't affect you. Trust us. And the second thing they do is, what is it? Hire 86,000 IRS agents at the same time as throwing your money out the window. At the same time as passing these multi-trillion-dollar bills. Trust us, it's not going to affect you one way or another. Let's hire the 86,000 new IRS agents, because we lied to them. We lied to the people. Taxes are going to go through the roof. It's going to lay off a lot of people. And we need to squeeze every drop of juice out of them to make it appear as though these bills that we're passing didn't have an effect on the people. Because when they audit you or I, that's not televised. You know, we don't know where the money's come from. All they do is get on the television next year and say, hey, see, we made these promises. Notice that none of your taxes went up. No, everything's good. No, it's because they squeeze the people dry behind the scenes with their taxes. So at what point, I guess, and then I'll end this part of the conversation, at what point does that promise that we work for you, you don't work for us, from the government, become false, a false promise? Is it at 10% taxes, which we all know we pay close to 50%? But my point is this: how much money do you have to give to the government before you really work for them, is the question. It took me a while to circle back, and try to, but you get my point. Do they really work for us, or are they trying to turn the system around to where we support the system, to where we work for them? And speaking of the Green New Deal and all these new technologies, that they are passing laws that we utilize. I say this again. Why are they doing this? If the foliage is still green, my window's still not frosting up in summertime like they swore it was going to happen 15 years ago. There's no climate change that I can see. I did an Alaskan cruise and all the icebergs are still there. Would it be so hard for them to start making investments, financial investments for their own selfish means? I was going to say something else. To enrich their own individual families, not the government, themselves. Would it be so hard for them all to conspire to invest in green technology, then come back to Congress the next day, pass laws that mandate that by 2026, no new cars that, you know, will consume gas be sold in California or whatever. I'm being facetious now because obviously that's a state government. But how difficult would it be? You think the government in California just doing it for the well-being of the people? You know, it's so funny. They're multi-millionaires, these government officials, and yet they swear we care for the little ones, the younglings, the babies. Yet you never see them break any money out of their pocket. They still have multi-million dollars in their checking account and savings account. They cared so much. Why don't they empty out the accounts and help all the homeless that they drive by on their way to their mansion every night when they get out of the office screwing the people over? You know what I mean? See, we care for the people is just another slogan. It's just another slogan. Then they use those people on the streets to politicize and see, look what the Republicans are doing. No, we don't want to fix the homeless. We don't want to fix none of the problems because those are the ammunition that we need to combat the conservatives. See, we don't want to really end gun violence because if gun violence ended right this second, we would have no verbal ammunition, no reason to strip gun rights away from people. So we don't really want school shootings to end, but we'll pretend that we care. No, we don't want armed guards in the schools. That sets a false image. Anyway, you get my point. They're investing in all these new technologies, and then they come to work the next day and pass laws that we're moving towards those technologies. Because the old technology, fossil fuel, it's matured. It might go up, the stocks might go up a point or two, come down a point or two, but they pretty much have matured and they don't want to wait that long for it to go up a point or two and become wealthy. No, the best time to get into a stock is when it's in its infancy, like the Green New Deal and all those technologies that surround the Green New Deal. Get it on the ground floor and make it a law, and then boom, overnight it's worth, you know, what we paid for 22 cents a stock is now worth, you know, $700 a share. Whew. That's how you do it, folks. That's how you screw the people over. That's how you become wealthy in Washington. So, lastly, abortion. I don't want to talk about abortion. You know my stance on it because I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. But I do want to mention why I feel the Democrat Party, the demonic party, and I'm not talking about Democrats that are passing me on the street or live in our communities. Because when you talk to them in real life, when I say real life, because if you listen to the news, oh, we're at battle, you know, we're at battle. No, when I talk to not fellow Democrats, I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. What I meant to say is, when I talk to Democrats, they seem like normal people. It's not like the news is portraying Republicans and Democrats. We're all getting along in the real world. On television, they'll have you think that we're all enemies. Black and whites are hating each other. Everything's hating each other. But my point is this. What was my point? The demonic party, and when I say that, I'm talking about Washington and state and city governments. The demonic party called the Democrats. The bulk of their contributions, their campaign party contributions, the bulk, I keep repeating myself because I want you to understand this, comes from Planned Parenthood. It comes from the demonic actions of abortion. And without the right to abort, there would go the bulk of their campaign funds. Mic drop. Have a great day.